Hi, my name is Mia. Welcome to Scrubs and Savings. I'm a 22-year-old new grad nurse documenting how I'm living intentionally, spending joyfully, and giving generously. And today we're going to do my payday routine where we break down my paycheck, budget it out, and check in on my most recent spending. So as for my paycheck, I worked a total of 73.1 hours, and so my total base pay was $2,774.15. I'm working nights now, so the majority of my hours are eligible for shift differential, so that was 71.8 of my hours. That 1.3 hours was because I had to take a telemetry class at 8 o'clock in the morning after working nights, which I wasn't the most awake and alert for, but we passed the test. We passed the test, and that's all that matters. And that was an extra $272.48. And then I also worked 3 days on a weekend, and that was 35.8 hours, and that was an extra $71.60. And then I also have my normal benefit credits for long-term disability, which is $14.32, and accident and dismemberment, which is 66 cents. So my total gross pay for this pay period was $3,133.21. And then for my pre-tax deductions, that includes my long-term disability, which is $14.32, term life insurance, which is 73 cents, and accident and dismemberment, which is 46 cents. And since I'm working nights, I get paid more because of the extra shift differential hours. So I decided to bump my 403B contribution from the 45% that it was up to 54%. So in this paycheck, I contributed $1,683.84 to my 403B. So the total of my pre-tax deductions was $1,699.35. And then for tax withholdings, that was $193.33 for Social Security, $45.21 for Medicare, $154.29 for federal income tax, $60.96 for state income tax, and $18.21 for city income tax. So the total of my tax withholdings was $471, which is almost kind of satisfying. So my total net pay for this pay period was $962.86. So for those of you that are new here, I use a budgeting software. You need a budget for all of my budgeting needs. I highly recommend it, and if you would like to try it out for yourself, I do have a referral link in my description box. So now I have $1,006.47 ready to assign or ready to be budgeted, and that extra little bit of money came from my Ally high yield savings account interest. So all of my October budget is fully funded, so we are just going to start funding November. And we're going to start off with my monthly fixed expenses, including car insurance, which is $157.83, my gym membership, which is $14.99, $312.42 for my monthly donation. I paused my Epidemic Sound subscription for right now because I haven't really needed to use copyright-free music, so we're just going to skip funding that for November. But then I do use my Canva subscription, so I'm just going to set aside $15 for that. Then for my true expenses, I'm going to set aside $100 for car maintenance, $574 for my ynab subscription, $416 for gym maintenance, $524 for my nursing license, $15 for work shoes, $27.09 for my Amex Gold annual fee, $7.92 for my Chase Sapphire Preferred annual fee, and then $50 for Christmas. And I may need to start overfunding this category a little bit because I have a pretty big idea of what I want to give my boyfriend for Christmas. I'm not going to say what it is because he may watch this video, but it is partially inspired by one of the other ynab budgeting channels. So now my true expenses are fully funded, so now we get to fund the fun stuff, which is $65 for gifts, $50 for eating out, $25 for hosting, $15 for activities, $41.50 for yoga, $30 for beauty, $5 for entertainment, 100, oh, do not have enough to fund live events. The money went by so fast. So I'm just going to put the rest of the $59.58 into my live events category. And with my next paycheck of October, I should be able to fully fund the rest of November. Then as for my spending, I had a little bit of unexpected expenses happen already, but in the best way possible. So I had my normal giving, but then in my fun money category, I spent $146.49 on live events, which I was not expecting at all. It's kind of ironic because in my October money reset video, I was saying like there's nothing big coming up, so I don't feel the need to fully fund my live events category. Wrong. My local baseball team, the Tigers, went to the MLB playoffs, and I just happened to not be working on one of the days that they were going to come into town. So I kind of spontaneously spent $120 on the playoff ticket, about $12 on parking, and the rest was ballpark food. And even though I had to be at the ballpark for like 8 to 9 hours that day because of a rain delay, and they did lose not just that game, but the series last night, it was totally worth the money that I spent to spend time with my boyfriend and our parents going to a baseball game. And then I spent $68.22 on clothing, and that was just to purchase a couple of cute sweaters or sweatshirts to work. And this one says Swaddle Specialist. And for those of you who don't know, I work in a birthing center where I mainly work with high-risk antepartum moms and babies after delivery. And then sometime next year, I will start training to become a labor and delivery nurse. I really do need to do a life reset video where I give you guys a lot of updates, but my schedule's just been weird. I haven't been able to film and edit long form as much as I want to, but I will get to that when I get to it because I also want to prioritize my well-being, especially after transitioning to night shift. And then the rest was pretty normal, just $157.83 for car insurance and $15 for Canva. But then this little $1 expense right here is for YouTube Premium. I'm currently on a YouTube Premium trial for the next month or so, and I think I might fork over the $140 to get YouTube with no ads and listen to YouTube music with no ads. I'm just tired of getting bombarded with ads, and as the subscription suggests, I think I'm willing to pay a premium to not have ads bother the way that I consume my media. And after this trial ends, I'm probably going to go with the annual subscription option, which is, I believe, $140, which is less than $12 a month for YouTube without ads and music without ads. That'll definitely be worth the money, especially because now that I'm not a student, Spotify is like $12 a month anyway. I think that's about it for this payday routine. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way through, even with the lighting change. If you enjoyed this video at all, make sure to like and subscribe, and I really hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.